Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am still in my pajamas because my daughter is at the park with my husband, and so of course I was gonna try these bronzing drops in about 7 other different ways. And by the way, thank you so much to all of you who left your feedback in the comment section, because it allowed me to test it in more ways to see if I got the same kind of results, and I have thoughts. So I'm hoping this video is a lot shorter than part 1. However, still grab a drink. I have my coffee. Look, my nails look more decent now. Aren't you proud of me? Yes. I have my coffee. Let's get ready to go. So we are gonna try the bronzing drops by itself on this side, which is where I have more acne scars, because I want you to see that this doesn't provide any coverage if used by itself. But if you're somebody who doesn't really have much skin concerns and all you want is a little bit of color to your face so you don't look so pale without having to sunbathe, you're gonna love this. Okay. For those of you who were asking, this, you get 1 fluid ounce with this. And this is what the box looks like, which I didn't even show you in the first video. How disrespectful of me. On the top, you get your color. I have shade 1. And in the back, you have just all the details. This has a 6-month shelf life. And a lot of you were really upset about that. I don't blame you. Who on God's green earth is gonna use an entire bottle of this in 6 months unless you wear makeup every day, which I don't think the average person wears makeup every day. This is what the packaging looks like. You have your color on the bottom. I can't speak in reference to the longevity of this particular product, because obviously I haven't had it that long. But I do have to say that with the foundations and her blushes, I know they have a longer shelf life, 12 months. I've had them for a lot longer than 12 months and they've been just fine. So I'm hoping that this lasts a lot longer than 6 months. But we already docked points for the fact that this only has a 6-month shelf life. I think we can all agree that that's no, not for the price point. You get what I mean? It needs to last a lot longer than that. I've also brought the powder bronzer from Westman, and I have the contour stick here, so we can do some comparison swatches between all 3 of these. On this side of my face, we're just gonna apply the bronzing drops alone. And then on this side of the face, I'm going to apply it with some concealer only, because I wanted you guys to see how that works. And then we're gonna talk about my experience using it with my Merit foundation and my Chanel foundation, because I did tell you in my previous video that it was very important for me that this product work well with other foundations. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend this to a soul. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to shake this up. Let's leave it standing for, just a little bit. And I do have to agree with some of you in the comments stating, that there's a lot better affordable options out there. Listen, I'm a very firm believer that if you have found something that works great for you, why invest in something new? I'm very much in the camp of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep using what you love. Do not invest in this unless you can get a good deal, or it's a gift, or you get it on sale and you're really, really curious about it. Honestly, save your money if you have found a better, more affordable option. We all know I picked this up to review it for you guys. I mean, come on. Do you not think I have thousands of bronzers in my collection? The Lord knows. The Lord, Jesus Christ and myself know I don't need another bronzer. I don't need another bronzer. Just like I don't need another blush. I don't need another foundation, but yet here we are. This is what I do. So if you have something that's good for you, just stick with that. Okay. Using the Westman blender travel brush and we're gonna apply one generous drop like so, and then we're just gonna apply it to the side of the face. So you can see the finish is lovely. You do get that soft matte finish. I can blend it fairly quickly, but it provides zero coverage for any kind of acne situation or acne scars that you may have, okay? Now, this is what I am gonna say. Kudos to my skin, because these two little babies right here, they are so upset. They're so upset because I've been doing nothing but testing this out since yesterday. Okay, so I think by now I've applied this 12 times to my face and removing it and trying it again. Yes, I know. So let's give credit where credit is due. They look fabulous, okay? They look fabulous. They're trying their best. Okay, so this is one coat of this, and honestly, the pigmentation is fine. I wouldn't want to be darker than this, but you can definitely see the difference between now my neck and my face. So it does give a nice, beautiful, natural bronze look. And this is exactly what I would look like if I got in the sun for a little bit, not long enough to like get a sunburn, but I look like I have a very natural bronze. Now, someone mentioned that when they built this up, it became patchy. I built this up. It did not become patchy, and we're gonna go in with a second layer. Now, you know why I do wanna say it's very personal, because it also depends what kind of skin type you have and what kind of skincare you're using. I do not use SPF on my face. I know that is a very unpopular opinion. Don't come at me in the comments. Honestly, it's not my fault. My skin really hates SPF. I'm almost certain that I may have an intolerance to something in SPF. The closest I've been able to get to wearing SPF on my face is the St. Jane SPF, the 30 SPF that I featured not too long ago, and it only has an SPF of 30, but it's also like a primer and moisturizer in one, so it's not just SPF. That's the closest I've been able to get to using SPF. My face detests it. So because I don't wear SPF, I think that also plays into the fact that I don't get a lot of patchiness, because I do know that SPF can be very emollient on the skin, and this is that matte finish situation. So I don't think that you may have enough time to blend it out, which is where the patchiness may come in. So for those of you who are wearing SPF with this, try it without SPF and then try to build it up. Tell me if it's still patchy, because I haven't gotten any patchiness out of it. So this is what it looks like with 2 layers. And I'm holding up like the magnified side of my mirror here, and no patchiness. It's fine, even tone. But again, it doesn't provide any kind of coverage. Now, I personally would never wear 2 layers of this. This doesn't look natural to me. I feel like this is a little too dark for me, but for the purposes of this video, I did want to build it up for you guys, because I wanted you guys to see that even with having acne scars, I don't see any kind of patchiness. And before I sat down to do this, I did this in front of my simple human mirror, the one that's like magnified ×5, because I did want to see if there was patchiness that I couldn't detect just looking at myself normally in the mirror, and I didn't see any. Now let's try it on this side of my face with concealer. So I'm using her concealer in Atelier L2. We are gonna apply a little bit of this under the eyes, and let's conceal some minor areas right here. Works beautifully, spoiler alert, with her concealer. It doesn't budge in the sense of like, it doesn't lift the concealer in the areas in which you've applied it. So we're just blending that out. I have no foundation, remember, I have no foundation on this side, just the concealer in the areas I need it, and then we're gonna go in with the bronzing drops. And I know you would think, you know, it's obvious that you would not put the bronzing drops and then go in with the concealer, but I did try it that way because I wanted to know. I'm that person. Anybody else, like, I know that's obvious and I know that's common sense, but I still wanted to know if it was going to blend or not. Obviously it didn't. You could definitely see discoloration in the areas where I had applied the concealer, but I tried it out for you guys anyway. Gonna go in with, again, 1 drop, and then let's apply it to the skin. I also tried it just using it as a bronzer on the cheekbones, and it was fine. It didn't lift my product underneath at all. I haven't tried it with other concealers though. I don't use a lot of concealers at all, actually, because again, I don't like anything creasing under my eyes, and 90% of concealers will crease under my eye, and I don't have dark circles, so honestly I'm somebody who doesn't really need concealer. I mainly only use concealer to conceal acne scars. But you can see how beautiful this looks with her concealer. Doesn't that look lovely? It looks lovely. I zoomed you guys in just a little bit more. The finish is beautiful. So it works really well with her concealer, and it didn't lift up the actual concealer in any of the spots I swiped it over. Again, with the concealer, I did also try just applying it to the high points of my cheeks, and it was fine. It did not lift up anything, and it blended lovely. I would also recommend trying maybe a brush like this that has more of a wispy flat top, or any brush that's wispy, kind of like, let me give you an example. See how this is wispy? It's not very dense. I would suggest using a brush that has that kind of effect to it, because I think that it does a much better job at blending it out, especially if you're using it as a typical bronzer on the cheeks. Now let's talk about how I got along with this with other foundations, and then we'll get into swatches really quick, okay? I use this with my Merit foundation, and I use this with my Chanel foundation. It worked just fine. I tried it both ways. I tried each foundation on my skin, and then I tried it on the cheekbones. Then I took it off, put the foundations back on, and I tried just swiping it all over my face. It did not lift any of my product, okay? The way that I did it with the Merit is, because this is a stick, you can't mix it into a liquid like you would with the Chanel one. So I applied the foundation first and then I went in with the bronzing drops. With the Chanel foundation, I also did not mix it because again, for science, I wanted to know how it would work if I didn't. So I applied my foundation first and then I tried it on my cheekbones only, and that was fine. It didn't lift my foundation. This is also a matte foundation because I wanted to also test this product. I know it's a soft matte finish, but I wanted to see how it would work with other matte products, because I think we all know that matte products you have to work a little bit quicker with, because they are gonna set and they're gonna set into that matte finish and they're not gonna budge. And that's what we all love about a good matte foundation. So this had to play well with another matte foundation. It had to. There was gonna be no compromise for me in that department, because this type of finish is what I mainly gravitate towards in foundations. Mind you, the exception here is my Merit complexion stick. This is and has become one of my holy grail foundations. This is not a matte finish, which is what I find to be super surprising, and why would I love it so much, because I typically like a good, nice, soft matte finish. This is has a very natural, normal finish. It doesn't budge. It doesn't crease on me. It doesn't matter how hot it is. It doesn't matter how humid it is. It just works so well. With the complexion drops, it did not budge on this. With my matte foundation from Chanel, it worked really well. It blended into the skin really nicely, even after I laid this down first. Now, I did not wait for this to fully set for me to go in with this, because it's not something that I would do regularly anyway. When I'm getting ready, I don't wait for my foundation to completely set before going in with, for example, a cream type of product or a liquid type of product, because at the end of the day, you are gonna risk having that lift or move anything else underneath. So when we use cream products, we try to use all the cream products first before allowing it to set, or before going in with a setting powder. So it would have been a little bit unfair that I would have let this just set down and then gone in with this. However, what I did do was I did apply this on one side of my face and I did let it set. And then I went in with this and applied it all over my face as like an extra overall bronzing situation, just for science. It worked well. It did not make my foundation patchy. It actually went on really nicely. So I have only tested this bronzer with her blender brush. I have similar brushes with this shape in my collection that are wispy like this, but considering the nature of this product and the formula of this product, I would not use it with, for example, a very dense brush like this. This is the IT Cosmetic foundation brush, and I know it's a foundation brush, but honestly I own about 6 or 8 of these brushes, because I buy the limited edition ones for breast cancer every year, and I use this for more than just bronzer. For example, I use it with her blush. Works great. Honestly, I could probably do an entire face with this brush from IT Cosmetics. That to say, I would not use this product with this, because less is more. I want less of this because I don't want such a prominent blush, and I want it to blend quickly. If I'm only gonna be concentrating this on the high points of my face, I'm not gonna use this brush. I need something that's wispy. I also want this to blend in like to the corners of my eyes, because I'm using this as a layering product. Again, I'm gonna go in with a wispy brush because I want it to be very seamless very quick, okay? This is a brush that I would use like for blush in a stamping motion. I would never sweep because it's so dense. So I would also pay attention to what brush you're using when applying this. I have not tried applying this with my finger because usually I don't use my fingers to apply my makeup. I use makeup brushes. If you guys want me to test this using my fingers, I can, but I don't find that to be very practical. I know in the demos, Gucci loves using her fingers to apply this product, and she shows you time and time again. I personally think that's a very hot mess for me to be doing, especially in the mornings when I'm in a hurry. So brushes are my way to go all the time, all the time. Let's go ahead and apply some blush just so that we look a little, you know, a little put together. And we're also gonna apply a little bit of contour stick, okay? So just for science, I mean, I would never wear this by itself because your girl needs a little more. She needs a little more. It works great with the contour stick. Doesn't lift either, in case you guys were wondering. Using the same brush just to tap that out. But you can see that the contour stick is not the same as the bronzer. It has a much cooler tone and it's etched out a little bit my cheekbones. I'm going in with Bichette and we're gonna apply a little bit of this on the cheeks and we're gonna blend it out with the IT Cosmetics foundation brush. This is what I've been using for this particular blush color. And you see how I'm just using stamping motions? I'm not sweeping. If I were to use this brush to sweep, I would not doubt that I would have tons of patchiness on my skin because everything has set. This is a very dense brush and it will probably scrape a couple layers of makeup off. We're gonna bring that over the bridge of my nose as I usually like to do with this blush. But I will have to say, with using the bronzing drops, Bichette is looking a lot better on my skin versus using it without. Also, you guys remember how I was hoping this video would be shorter? I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be shorter. I'm trying to hurry up. I'm trying to make this as short as possible. So we've applied some blush. Let's apply some highlight to either side of the face. This is in the color Brulee from Miss Gucci Westman. Blending this in with my fingers. This is one of the only products I actually do blend in with my finger because I could just wipe my finger and then we're good to go. You know, it has a very soft pigment. It's not like I have to wash my hands. Next up, we're gonna apply a little bit of the Merit single shadow in the color Studio. I use Ecru in the Merit foundation, and if that's your color, then Studio is gonna be what they would consider your perfect neutral eyeshadow color, which it really is. I'm applying this with the finger, again, doing that because I have a little wet makeup eraser here next to me and I could just wipe my finger really quick and move on with my life. If I didn't have this nearby, I would not apply the Merit shadow with my finger because this, once it sets, it's not going anywhere. It's not very easy to take off. You do need water and soap or some kind of makeup remover to remove it. Let's apply some eyeliner. I'm using the Westman Atelier brown eyeliner to the top lashes. By the way, did anybody see that tease post from Merit where they're showing us like a new product that's gonna launch? I think it's lip liners. Okay, going in with a little bit of her brow pencil in the color Clay. I used Bark before and that was a little too dark for me. Clay is my perfect shade for my brows. Let's groom these suckers. Going in with my Merit Brow Gel in the color Light Brown. If you're wondering why I always go in with some of Merit's brow gel, it's because I have very long eyebrow hairs, and the Westman Atelier brow pencil, although it's waxy, doesn't provide enough hold for me. Next, we're gonna go in with my Holy Grail mascara, my Merit mascara in the top lashes. I'm gonna apply some lipstick and I'll be right back. Okay, I went in with a little bit of her lipstick in a Fluffy, which is obviously this little, which is like a light pink. And this is the final look. Again, would never go out with this situation, okay? This is not my preference. All right, remember, this is the side we only applied the complexion drops. There's no concealer, there's no nothing. Okay, your girl needs a little bit more help on this side, okay? On this side, we did apply a little bit of concealer. We applied some of that contour stick right here, some highlight. You know, this is doable. I like that. I like that situation, okay? Now let's get into swatches. So, right in the center here, I have applied the complexion drops, which haven't even fully dried yet. I have, again, the first shade, okay? Then over here is her contour stick in Biscuit. And then over here, we have her butter bronzer in Coupe de Soleil. So you can see the different tones, but you can already see where the bronzer has dried. It's a luminous kind of matte finish. It's very soft. So here we have all three of those tones. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys come up with any other ways you want me to try this on camera, please let me know, or I will do a shorts for you, or if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below. I also want to state that I don't know why I'm coming up a little bit orange on camera, but this by no means is an orange product whatsoever. It's very neutral in tone. I just film in natural light, so I do know that depending how the light is hitting, I can come up a little bit orange on camera sometimes. It's just the nature of the game when you film in natural light, which is why most people don't like doing it, because it's a very unstable environment. However, I know you guys prefer it. That's what we do here. All right, that completes this video. Again, I tried to make this as short as possible. I appreciate your time. Leave me your comments down below. All in all, for right now, my overall thoughts is I like this product. I really do. However, it's not a limited edition product. Wait for the Sephora sale so you can get a deal on this, because this is, again, very pricey, as we should expect from a luxury beauty brand like Westman Atelier. That's just the nature of the game when you are entering luxury beauty land. It's gonna be expensive. So if you found something way better that's been working for you for years, just don't even bother, honestly. But for those of you who are intrigued and we're all on a budget, just wait for the Sephora sale. I feel like it may be coming up in March or April. I think April. I think it's in April. You can get 20% off of this if you are a Rouge member. If you're not a Rouge member, this is also available at other retailers like Nordstrom and Credo Beauty. And Credo Beauty has their friends and family sale, and you can get 20% off of this, and you don't have to have any particular tier with that. So if you can get this on sale, just wait. It's not going anywhere. I've just quickly tested this for you guys because I know that you guys were super excited when this dropped, and it's right before the temperatures are starting to go up and everybody wants to be a bronzed, beautiful goddess, and I totally understand that. But just, you know, wait. wait, they're not going anywhere. Wait for them to go on sale. If you have a local store that has these, try them on, because nothing hurts me more than when you guys go into the comments and are like, I purchased this and it didn't work for me and I really hate it and I'm super bummed. I can't tell you how bummed I am with you, because I know what that's like. I know what it's like. We all work really hard for our money, and there's nothing worse than dropping a wad of cash on something you're super excited about and you hate it and it doesn't work. It hurts me too. I feel you. I'm like, I'm in there with you in the comments, and I'm like, oh, I almost have to remind myself, you don't work for Westman Atelier. You cannot refund these people their money. I feel it. I feel your pain. One more quick look. They have now fully set, and as you can see, they are much more luminous than the contour stick. I feel like the contour stick is a little bit more matte. Anybody seeing that? Now, I don't really expect much because with the butter bronzer, because the butter bronzer is a powder product. So obviously this is gonna be the most matte out of all of them, you know, but you can see it does have a luminosity to it. The contour stick is not tacky, but the bronzing drop are they're a little bit tacky. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video, because it does push my video into the algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe if you like this video. Thank you so much to all of you, and have a lovely day.